In the heart of the Hundred Years' War, a teenage girl in shining armor rides at the head of the French army. She is not royalty. She is not a trained commander. She is a peasant. How did a teenage peasant girl command the army of France and change the course of history? This is the story of Joan of Arc, a tale of faith, courage, and sacrifice that has echoed through the centuries. Born in a humble village in 1412, Joan of Arc's early life was ordinary, yet she was destined for an extraordinary fate. From the age of 13, she began to experience profound visions. Bathed in a celestial light, she claimed to hear the voices of Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret. They entrusted her with a divine mission: to drive the English out of France and to see the rightful heir, the Dauphin Charles, crowned as king. In a world dominated by men and rigid social hierarchies, her claims were met with deep skepticism. Yet her unwavering conviction was magnetic. She traveled to the French court and, against all odds, secured an audience with the skeptical Dauphin. She spoke not with the timidity of a peasant, but with the authority of a prophet, winning him over with a secret sign that convinced him of her divine calling. He granted her command of a small army. With her white banner unfurled, emblazoned with the names of Jesus and Mary, Joan arrived at the besieged city of Orléans in 1429. The French forces, demoralized by years of defeat, were on the brink of collapse. But Joan's presence was transformative. She was not just a figurehead. She was a warrior prophet, leading from the front, inspiring her soldiers with her piety and fearless courage. Under her leadership, the French launched a series of aggressive assaults, and in just 9 days, the seemingly impossible happened. The English siege was broken. This stunning victory was a pivotal turning point in the war, a miracle attributed to the Maid of Orléans. Her mission was not yet complete. True to her visions, she led Charles through enemy territory to the city of Reims, the traditional site for French coronations. There, as Charles VII was officially crowned King of France, Joan of Arc stood proudly by his side, her divine promise fulfilled. However, Joan's meteoric rise was met with a brutal fall. In 1430, during a minor skirmish, a cruel twist of fate saw her unhorsed and captured by Burgundian soldiers, who then sold her to their English allies. For the English, discrediting Joan was as crucial as defeating her in battle. If her victories were divinely inspired, it meant God was against them. She was put on trial for heresy, a political spectacle disguised as a religious inquiry. In a tense and hostile courtroom, surrounded by learned theologians and accusers determined to condemn her, the uneducated farm girl demonstrated remarkable intelligence and bravery. She deftly parried their trick questions and steadfastly refused to deny her visions or her faith, facing her inquisitors with a courage that belied her years. Despite her eloquent defense, the verdict was a foregone conclusion. On May 30th, 1431, at just 19 years old, Joan of Arc was declared a heretic and taken to the marketplace in Rouen. In a somber and powerful scene that would be seared into the world's memory, she was burned at the stake. Yet her death was not the end of her story. Her sacrifice galvanized the French, and the war eventually turned decisively in their favor. Decades later, a new trial was authorized, which formally investigated and overturned her conviction, exonerating her completely. Her legend only grew with time, transforming from a national heroine into a global symbol of faith and resistance. Nearly 500 years after her death, she was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church, her legacy immortalized in stone and stained glass, a testament to the young girl who followed her faith and changed the destiny of a nation.